What up, YouTube? Two Movies here. With Maleficent, Mistress of Evil opening this week, since it stars Oscar-winning actress Angelina Jolie, I decided to go ahead and do my top 10 favorite Angelina Jolie movies. Because I mean, she's a full-time Oscar-winning actress. She's been in some really interesting films over the years. She has some interesting marriages too, but that's a topic for another time. So, with that being said, here's my 10 favorite Jolie movies. Alright. Coming in at number 10 is the Robert Zemeckis directed film Beowulf, which is based on the classic book Beowulf and Granda. This is a really great film. I mean, the visuals that they use for Beowulf, like they really don't make animation like they usually like the animation they used in Beowulf was terrific. Like what Robert Zemeckis actually ended up doing with this film was pretty cool. And I mean, you had the great Ray Winstone as Beowulf. You also had Angelina Jolie as Granda's mother. You had Sir Anthony Hopkins was in this. Chris Ben Glover played the role of Granda. I mean, this is probably one of the coolest animated films I've ever witnessed. I mean, I literally never seen something like this before, and they Robert Zemeckis or some other directors have to do another film like in the same style of Beowulf. I really always quite like the anime style they use. And Jolie, by the way, her character is pretty much like a creature and like a very vengeful and vicious. I mean, and she's partially half naked too. So yeah. But that being said, Jolie was still great in this, and her like interaction with Beowulf was pretty great. Like if you guys never really seen Beowulf by now, give it a go. It's a really good one. All right. Coming in at number 9, the sequel comes out this week, so it's appropriate to talk about this. At number 9, it's Maleficent. Now, I didn't really love the first Maleficent as lots of other people did, but I kind of thought it was okay. But the best part is definitely Jolie's performance. I mean, Jolie, I thought gave a really tremendous performance here, and her playing the Sleeping Beauty villain was very terrifying. Her relationship with her chemistry with Aurora, played by Elle Fanning, was great. Jolie with the horns on her head. I mean, what more can you ask for? It's Jolie with horns on her head. Yeah, I really got kicked out of Maleficent. If if you guys haven't really seen the first Maleficent, yeah, I'd say give it a go. I mean, it's not great, but it's okay. Now the sequel, of course, opens this weekend. I'm kind of interested in it. So anyway, all right. Coming in at number 8, it is the Nick Cage film Gone in 60 Seconds. Now you got Nicolas Cage as his car thief who's like forced to steal a 50 luxury vehicle in like one night in order to save the life of his brother. And so he's actually joined by like his fellow girlfriend played by Jolie, who's also a fellow car thief. So they gotta get pretty much do this in like 60 seconds and all. Gone 60 Seconds got released in 2000, and crazy to believe that this movie turns 20 next year. Like, it's 19 years old this year, but next year it turns 20, so, yeah. But you also had Giovanni Ribisi was also in this. Such a really fun, entertaining flick. Nick Cage and Angelina Jolie both had cool chemistry with one another. I really quite liked Jolie's, like, hairstyle they used in this. Jolie looked really cool here. I mean, if you guys never really seen Gone 60 Seconds yet, give it a go. It's kind of like, I guess you could say it's in the vein of Fast and Furious, but this got released like a year before Fast and Furious, so anyway. Alright. Coming in at number 7, it is Salt. Now, Salt is directed by Philip Noyce, who actually worked with Jolie once before. And in it, Jolie plays this character named Evelyn Salt, who becomes like a CIA officer, and she pretty much like swore an oath to duty, honor, and her country. But like when this defector accuses her of being a Russian spy, Salt's oath is like put to the test, and now she ends up becoming a fugitive. So she must like try to prove her innocence. Now this is really one of Jolie's most badass roles she's ever played. And you also had Chiwetel Ejiofor was also in this, who by the way is in of course Ejiofor is also in the Maleficent sequel, which comes out this week. So you also had Leo Sharp was also in this, Andre Braugher, some really good cast members. Now there's been talks about a sequel of this, but I don't know if a sequel will ever happen. But I really quite like Saw. I thought it was pretty fun. It was a nice thrill ride. Cool loads of great action here. Salt is definitely one notch best. Like if you guys never seen Jolie's film Salt yet, give it a go. I think you'll get a kick out of it. And I still kind of want to see a sequel, but the first film ended perfectly, so I guess the sequel is not really needed. All right, coming in at number 6, it is Pushington. Now, in this, Jolie actually ended up working with her then husband, Billy Bob Thornton here. Kind of funny how Jolie ended up actually working with her exes in films. But anyway, like Pushington is like this. It's pretty much like a slang phrase she uses to describe a air traffic controllers. And so like you got John Cusack and Dorn who plays these two controllers who like become involved in this competitive conflict filled relationship and all. And so like Jolie actually plays Dorn's unhappy wife because of course they were married in real life, so they're married in the movie. And it's pretty it's a really interesting dark comedy here. And Jolie and Dorn both work pretty well together. I mean, obviously they had interesting chemistry off screen as well. And John Cusack was pretty good. I mean, if you guys haven't seen Pushington yet, it's a pretty decent one. Alright, coming in at number 5, it is The Bone Collector, which is based on a book and is also directed by Philip Noyce. And it stars the likes of Denzel Washington. You've got Queen Latifah's in this, Micah Rooker, Luis Guzman, Bobby Cannavale. And in it, Jolie plays this policewoman named Amelia Donnelly, who pretty much is like in hot pursuit of a serial murderer whose been like a calling card is a small shard of bone extracted from like each of his victims and all. And so you got like this criminology expert named Lincoln Ryan, played by Denzel, who's like pretty much trying to help and all. And actually, not to mention NBC is, I think it's NBC or Fox, one of the two. One of them are actually doing a TV show of this, which got picked up by one of them. So there's like a TV show, The Bone Collector, coming as well. It is based on a book, so obviously there's that. Now, I'm a sucker for murder mystery films, and this one is a pretty gritty one. Jolie and Washington were both great here. Queen Latifah's pretty decent. I mean, if you guys ever seen Bone Collector, it's another Jolie movie worth checking out. Alright. Coming in at number 4, it's probably one of the better video game movies we had in like years, and that is Lara Croft Tomb Raider. I mean, it is of course based on the video game, and now, I mean, I probably still prefer the Alicia Vikander's Tomb Raider, but the first Tomb Raider, I'm going with the first one, not the sequel, Creative Life. The sequel to this was not that good. But the first one, directed by Simon West, starring Angelina Jolie's dad, John Voight, Daniel Craig was in this. It's pretty fun, and like I said, it's definitely one of the better video game movies we had. And Jolie as Lara Croft, that was pretty cool casting. And I know she really played the role of Lara Croft really well. She was like such a badass as this role. I mean, it's a shame that we never really got to see Jolie back as a role for a third film, but the second one was so bad, so I guess it's better off not happening. But yeah, if you guys never really seen Angelina Jolie's first Lara Croft, if you have any doubts of how video games being turned into movies and all, Lara Croft is definitely one of the better ones. Like even people who aren't into like video games based on movies lately, lots of people will literally tell you how that Lara Croft is the better one. So yeah. And if you also want to look at it, Lara Croft is like a female Indiana Jones. I always saw her like the female Indiana Jones. So anyway. Coming in at number 3 is another one of Jolie's badass roles, and that is Wanted, directed by Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter director Timur Bamut. I could never really pronounce his last name that well. Bekamabito. I can never really pronounce that guy's last name. But it also featured Chris Pratt, who I always keep forgetting Chris Pratt is in this. Like, it's crazy. Ever since like Guardians of the Galaxy and all, how like Chris Pratt has been. He's a bigger star now, but like before Guardians and Jurassic World kicked in, it's crazy. See how much like other stuff he's been in. Like he was in Jennifer's Body. He was in Wanted, the OC. I mean, it's pretty insane. Just like pretty much see Chris Pratt now and knowing that he was in like a few other stuff before that. But anyway, now Wanted, Jolie as an assassin. I mean, what more can you ask for there? You had Morgan Freeman was in this. You got James McAvoy, who pretty much plays like this office worker who's like life is very going anywhere, nowhere I should say, and so he like ends up being, and so like after his estranged father ends up getting murdered, he ends up meeting Fox, played by Jolie, who like recruits him into like a fraternity, which is like a anyway, which is like a secret society of assassins, and Morgan Freeman is like the fraternity's leader, and so they're pretty much Jolie's character is like trying to train Gibson or now this is actually based on a comic book, which I always keep forgetting this is based on a comic book for some reason. I don't know why. That always keeps flying through my head, and lots of bullets flying. I mean, the scene where James McAvoy's Wesley character ends up shooting the bullet to Jolie's character, and like the bullet just like stops there. Like that is probably the most insane moments I've seen in a movie. And also you had not to mention you had Kama was also in this. Terrence Stamp actually played McAvoy's dad. Those two I like Terrence Stamp, pretty underrated actor. Anyway, yeah, Wanted is also another sequel that I'm surprised that we never got. Like since the release, like it got released in 2008. Since the release, it gained a cult following. Like lots of people today kind of like Wanted, so it's a little weird we never really got to see a sequel to it. I mean, I think maybe we could see a TV show in the near future, but yeah, the box office I think was okay. I got to check see how good it did at the box office, but yeah, it's a shame we never got to see a sequel. But hey, maybe not every film needs a sequel, but all right. Coming in at number 2, it's going to be Mr. and Mrs. Smith, the film that really introduced us to Angelina. I mean, come on. Mr. and Mrs. Smith is just awesome. I mean, Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, obviously they were married in real life, so obviously their chemistry on screen was really great. Now, Mr. and Mrs. Smith was also directed by Doug Liman, who also gave us Edge of Tomorrow. He gave us, what else did he give us? Oh, yeah, he gave us the movie Go. I think he directed one of the Bourne movies, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Doug Liman is a pretty cool director, and he did a great job with Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Like, the film was really funny. It had some great loads of action. It's also part romance, too, as well. Like, Jolie and Pitt pretty much had, like, major romance going on in the film. And, of course, probably my favorite scene is where, at the marriage counselor, and so that's pretty, funny and kind of scene. I mean, it was actually spoofing date movie as well, so I mean, Mr. and Mrs. Smith was pretty fun. Now I would say I still sort of wish we got to see a sequel, but instead Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie decided to do By the Sea instead of A Secret to Death. So yeah, I mean, this may sound like a cop out, but I kind of one major reason why I'm a little disappointed about them not being together, because I still wish they went ahead and did Mrs. Smith sequel before they broke up. I mean, come on. Now, if they probably do a new one, it'll probably be without them, but anyway. Yeah, if you guys never really see Mr. and Mrs. Smith, you it also got people like Adam Brody is in this, Vince Vaughn, Michelle Monaghan. Really fun flick. Definitely go check out Mr. and Mrs. Smith if you guys haven't seen it. And it's a shame they're not together because I still really want to see a sequel to this. Anyway. Maybe they could still do a sequel, but when they're like divorced, maybe I don't know. I don't even know if they're actually still friends together or not. But anyway, all right. Coming in at number one for my favorite Angelina Jolie film, it's probably my favorite Angelina Jolie performances too, and that is Girl Interrupted, the film that really won Jolie her first ever Oscar. And Jolie's done films beforehand, but this was actually the movie that really Sancho put her on the major map for most people. Like, I mean, Jolie, plays like this psychopathic woman who like spends her life in the mental institution, and she also like befriends with Winona Ryder's character, who's also placed in the same ward, and you also got and there's some really intense scenes, like her scene where like she ends up talking to a character played by Brittany Murphy into like a suicide and all, and Jolie also like pretty much pulls off like the perfect perfection and acting and all. Brittany Murphy was great in this shoot. Man, I miss her. And also you got Whoopi Goldberg was also in this. Jared Leto, Vanessa Redgrave, Jeffrey Tambor. I forgot Jeffrey Tambor was in this. Clea Duvall, directed by James Mango, who also went on. She did Walk the Line, Logan. He has Ford versus Ferrari coming out, pretty soon. Girl Interrupted is definitely Jolie's like best work and best performance in my opinion. I mean, definitely a well-deserving Oscar win because she was that great in this movie. And Winona Ryder was great too, and all the other cast was great. But I think Jolie really acted circles around everyone in this movie. And if you guys haven't really seen Girl Interrupted, it's a great film. And like I said, it's Jolie's best work. So definitely give that one a go if you guys haven't seen it. All right, that's pretty much it. Let me do the quick rundown. All right. 10, Beowulf. 9, Maleficent. 8, Gone in 60 Seconds. 7, Salt. 6, Pushing 10. 5, The Bone Collector. 4, Lara Croft Tomb Raider. 3, Wanted. 2, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. And 1, Girl Interrupted. Now, she's been in loads of other stuff over the years as well. Let me see. Definitely not the Taurus. I mean, the Taurus with her and Johnny Depp in it was so bad. Let's see. There's a Changeling. She was great in that. I didn't really love the movie as most people did. By the way, it was just okay. But she was in that movie Gia. She was in that aforementioned By the Sea with Brad Pitt, which if you guys have trouble, sleeping and all, do yourself a favor, watch By the Sea. You'll be able to fall asleep. She was also in, I was talking about my favorite Rosario Dawson movies earlier. She was in Jolie and Dawson worked together on Alexander, so that. She wasn't in it, but she directed the movie Unbroken, which is a really great film. I probably could have had that one on my list. But Molly was just doing her acting credits. Her breakthrough film was Hackers, which was really good. She was also in that movie Mighty Heart, the Robert De Niro film Good Shepherd. She was in the Kung Fu Panda films. She was in that film Foxfire. Her worst film ever is probably Cyborg 2. I mean, anyone ever seen that one? Yeah. She also directed that movie In the Land of Blood and Honey. She was in Sky Captain, Playing by the Heart with Ryan Felipe. That was okay. Let's see. Now she has a few other films coming out. I'm actually looking forward to. Like besides Mistress of Evil, she'll also be seen in Marvel's highly anticipated Eternals film. She's also going to be seen in Those Who Wish Me Dead, which is from the same director of Wind River. And she's in Disney's new film, My One and Only Ivan. and the film come away with David Aiello. So she has a few other stuff coming out as well. I mean, I'm glad to see Jolie making some sort of comeback because, to be honest, her last actual film where she actually appeared in was By the Sea, and that was like in 2016. So I'm really glad to see her like sort of making a bit of a comeback here, and well deserved because I always like Jolie. So anyway, let me leave you guys. What are some of your favorite Angelina Jolie movies? Drop a comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. This here, C Movie signing off.